Guys, Ibrahim, what I'm holding here is a printout of the Constitution of Sierra Leone. It's very important, okay? And I think this is something I've been doing over the years for you guys that have been following me. And when I say follow me, not only on Facebook, but if you're on WhatsApp as well, and or on Twitter, by the way, you will know exactly what I stand for. It's all about civic education for me. I'm very big on that. You see, the reason why Africa and African people are suffering today, and I'm going to try to do this live in Creole as well because I want some of my brothers and sisters for benefit. I'm going to mix it up a little bit. But I really want to talk about that. I want to talk about civic education. You see, this is a copy of the Constitution itself. The whole thing, I printed it out. All right. If you want a copy of the Constitution, I think you can get it from, the printing press and stuff like that. You can Google it up and you can find it. And if you have resources like printers for you to print out a copy of the Constitution, that would be awesome. I would say definitely look into that. It's a big thing. So I want to talk about civic education. I just want to paint a picture, a little bit of, what to make Sierra Leone in Africa, they suffer the way they suffer so delicate today. My brother Cashbox, of course, who's based in London, where we can do audios together, he sent me a video of Professor Lumumba. And I watched this video, and Professor Lumumba is talking about Chinua Achebe, where he writes Things Fall Apart. But there is another book where he writes Ants of Something, where it talks about the reason why African people are not vexed. Why is it that Africans don't ask for more? It tells you about how African people, they are the same ones looking at the elections that just happened, right? That they go pack that stadium, go pack that and fill them for can't listen to these politicians. We have the time. These politicians are living a very ostentatious lifestyle. They live great life. They ride big motoka them. Well, look the guy the motoka they drive. Now a country where the average citizen cannot even afford a funny Toyota Corolla, which will cost them sometimes $5,000-6,000 depending on the year of the motoka. But look at the vehicles that these guys are driving, but our people are suffering. So this brings us to the point that it's because, again, civic education. So people don't even understand exactly what the governance system should be about. So that is why, again, I say to you guys, look at a copy of the Constitution, right? How many of you guys watching this live right now, don't feel guilty, I'm not trying to hold you to it, we get a copy of the Constitution? How many of you guys that are watching this live right now, we don't ever read the Constitution? I can tell you, say, maybe less than 5% of the population of Sierra Leone that then get a copy of the Constitution, or even they look at the Constitution. So this is why it's very hard when you come for talk to people, at that level, it's very difficult for you to get to them. You see, because you can't talk language where half the time it just pass over the head because they have no clue of what you're talking about. And that is the problem where we get elected in Sierra Leone. And that is why it's important we talk about civic education. And I say civic education to the point where we start this in our classrooms. The other day I spoke with a friend of mine who I don't call, who's embassy to work, but, a big man, is a diplomat. And we talked about the fact that he shared his experience with me. He said, Ibrahim, he said, what I noticed when I was here during the days of the APC government, he said the things that the APC government did, he said it be so boku. He said, but in surprise, when you see the people of Sierra Leone vote out the APC, he said he was really shocked and surprised, like, whoa, what are these people asking for? He said, but Ibrahim, now that I've seen the SLPP at work, he said, I can tell you this. He said the SLPP, they are big on messaging. He said the mistake where the APC will make was the fact that the APC was not putting out the message. He said APC as a party, every little thing that dance, enjoyment and this and that. He said, but APC not really put up the messages of what they do. He said we compare that to BO. He said even like the toll road, the APC not put out enough messages for educate people so that people will understand exactly what the toll road is all about. So I say, okay, let me come sit out here. When I really bored them, no, so the birds are chirping, I say let's sit down small, let's talk about this. You see, because messaging is very crucial. We look, for example, at the Lunge International Airport, right? Where we all listen at Lunge Airport. The SLPP then go extend the terminal, then call and say a new airport. They are pushing the message out there. So to the rest of the world, they say Sierra Leone get one of the finest airports. How much person get for go travel go to Sierra Leone for go see this airport? These are the questions. So what you tell people, what you feed them is what they see. They say, Ibrahim, I saw, you know, the road network, the road systems. They say all the roads them the APC make. They say I see all these things. They say so I was really surprised when the APC lost the elections in 2018. They say, but again, now that I see how the SLPP operates as a political party, they say they control the narrative. The messaging out there is controlled by the SLPP. When you look at international platforms, them news media and all of that, it's controlled by the SLPP. They say the APC only appeals to the local base, which is important. They say by the end of the day, you want the support of the international community as well. You want foreigners for come a nation, even like during the campaign, when the SLPP was campaigning. I'm going to come to my civic education there, because I'm going to talk about the Constitution. And how many of you guys even know anything about what the Constitution say? Because it's not taught at that level for letting teach picking them at schools so that they would understand exactly what civic responsibility means. So he said, Ibrahim, but you know, I look at all of this, the APC, nothing. They were not talking about the developmental strides and everything. It wasn't out there. It was not on platforms internationally for showcase all of these developments. I say, sadly, it is the same thing with people like ourselves in the diaspora. And that was how a lot of we were, you know, they misled and misguided us, especially in the advent of, he even mentioned Kande Yumkela. It says, so you understand when people see Kande Yumkela and all of that, including myself, we support Kande Yumkela, you know, ferociously, thinking say Kande Yumkela is the man, you know, that has what it takes for come and take we to, you know, planet Mars, so that we can see the kind of developments that we're looking for. It said when you see people were, you know, going behind Kande Yumkela, you understood what it was. It said, but at the time, it said if only the APC had done, you know, fantastic work of putting out the messages out there, I say Kande Yumkela would not have seen the light of day. I say I agree with you. I say take for example the free quality education where SLPP they flout out. How many of you guys know it's in the Constitution? It's section 9. If you go to the Constitution, if you have a copy of the Constitution, it is section 9 right here. Section 9 of the Constitution. You go zoom in on this live so you go see what I talk about. Section 9, I ain't guarantee say we'll get free quality education. You know, it is in the Constitution. Not to, you know, TV for Bluffo. Section 9, subsection 1 and 2 talks about education. You know, it talks about, in subsection 2, it says the government shall strive to eradicate illiteracy and to this end shall direct its educational policy towards, you know, achieving free adult literacy programs, free compulsory basic education at primary and junior secondary school levels, and free senior secondary education as and when practicable. This is the Constitution. So it is not like when Madabiur and Kamen say free quality education, it was out of the blues. It's already in the Constitution. So APC, former President Nkrumah, they subsidized education 70% for folks that were even in a university. But was this a message where they sell to the world? Let the world see exactly what it was? They don't sell them. So people not even understand. So when Madabiur come with free quality education, people fall for them because again, it's all about the messaging, right? That is what it is. So again, these are the points that people need to understand and know if we're going to go anywhere at all. But let me talk about this Constitution, right? This Constitution, after the Bible, after your Quran, this should be your best friend. It should be your guide. You see, everything we do is guided by the Constitution. Everything we say is guided by the Constitution. This is why you see people, they want to forget the job responsibility. They want to forget the jobs, but they don't want to deal with the responsibilities that come with the job. What am I saying? You see, all money run for commot, money want go parliament. All man want go inside parliament. But when they reach that parliament, and then you tell them, say, as a member of parliament, they get a responsibility for stand up and protect everybody. These guys get mad. They go crazy. They say, no, tell you what to do. They forget say they are representatives of the people. And when you're a representative of the people, you have to listen to the people. So again, what to do, because a lot of them grow up not understanding the details of what the Constitution say, and when it talks about the responsibilities of members of Parliament. So for example, if you turn to section 105 of the Constitution, it tells you that Parliament is the supreme legislative authority. What means saying that Parliament they make laws, Parliament get oversight responsibility, and Parliament is a representation of the people. Therefore, the people supposed to ask Parliament in times where Parliament for do what they want let the people and do. Members of Parliament not get a responsibility for go bring water well at the community, not to the job that they for carry water, go to the water well at the community, for go build school at the community, for go build, not to that a responsibility. Members of Parliament, the responsibility not to where you picking sick, for go to members of Parliament say me picking non sick, or where you picking and go high school, you you need money for go pay, for like you picking get school uniforms and this and that. That is not the responsibility of Parliament. What is the responsibility of Parliament? Parliamentary responsibility now for ensure say the government take the developments to these people. So Parliament gets a responsibility for hold the government in foot to the fire. That is the basic responsibility of members of Parliament. So when we see in Sierra Leone today, when they get budget, then go pass budget. Oh, we don't pass the budget and all of that stuff. But you ask yourself, the budget, what did they allocate for like the healthcare? What did they allocate, for the educational system? Is it reaching these people? What did they allocate for fix the roads them? If they go for when they fix the road there. What did they allocate? Say that teacher salary. Are teachers getting paid? How do they fix them budget there? Now they want grace when they fix them budget there. But what I want to focus on is about the people knowing their responsibilities and their rights. And I want a Sierra Leone where people are educated enough to understand, say, your leaders in government, not only Parliament, from the president all the way through to everybody where they consider themselves as a public officer, and this is in section 76 of the Constitution, where you read there, you go see, where they talk about public officer, anybody where get any job that is, you are appointed by the government to work on behalf of the people. So basically anybody within a ministry, a department, an agency, you are a public officer, you work for the people of Sierra Leone. I want to Salon people understand, say, you as a people, now like when you get your oath, I want to give you a breakdown of what the relationship looks like between the people and government. And I can always put them in this simplest form. The relationship of the people and the government, now like example, I get my oath, right? My oath, we also get fence. This fence, we put gates there, right? Now the watchman will employ for make sure say anybody where they come through this we gate, then they search them, make sure say they get reason for kind what they can do. All right. I see I lost, I don't know why Apple does that all the time, trying to reconnect. What did they reconnect? I want to sabi. But I'm back. So, like I say again, the government and the watchman are your oath. They are custodians. Now, they watch you oath for make sure say you're protected. When they sleep in the net, then protect you. That is the responsibility of the government. You, the people, that are inside the oath, when they sleep. Or when they wake, when they go about their business inside on a yard, inside on a house, inside on a country. Now, the responsibility of the government that. The government should ensure every need of the people is met. This is why we pay taxes. But until the people know self why they pay tax, we make the presidents get money for fly, they get money for buy only motoka them. Now through taxation. Through the taxes that the people pay is how the government survives and how the government thrives. And so this same money where they pay pan taxes should be the same money that should go back, to the people, so that the people will enjoy the benefits of their labor. So when you take advanced democracies like America, we will pay tax. We know why we pay taxes them. Now then tax how we pay. Now you make. Then they can pick them front their house. Front we host them. Now school bus. And then reason they make, where we picking and sick, where they go hospital. We all get access to healthcare, right? You get for buy your healthcare, but you get access to healthcare. If I'm sick today, I go hospital, I get access to healthcare. So these are the things, that we say. So it's important for people to understand, first of all, say, without them, there is no government. But in Sierra Leone, like it today, and across Africa, the problem what we get is the fact that the people don't even know their worth. And that is why I do what I do. Because I want to have a society where the people are educated enough to understand, say, they have a responsibility for ask tough questions to the leaders them. But what's the fundamental problem in Africa and in Sierra Leone, which is not an isolated case? The fundamental problem is with ethnicity, tribes, right? When you look at the politics of Africa at the granular level, at the macro level, at the small level, a lot of people just tell us, say, oh, me party na APC. And then so you talk small to me. A lot of people, you say, oh, me party na SLPP. And then you talk small men. They, oh, that's it. You're my brother. You know me this. You know me that. Then they check you again for asking you any other more questions. That is what is killing Africa. You know, in this part of the world we find ourselves, in America and these leaders, what did they find out at a very early point? It is the fact that, you know, homogeneity, what means say oneness, you know, like here the American and English no more to speak. So it's difficult for divide people along tribal lines. But in Africa, that was why they divided us so much across tribal lines, which is what is affecting us. Because a lot of Africans, they are more guided within tribe than anything else na politics. Not even religion, and that's the beautiful thing where I tell God thank you for Salon. Religion not to play so much of a role in with politics as much as tribes, they play a role in our politics. That is the biggest cancer, and that's the biggest problem we have. And with tribes, they don't be a cost to we. Because again, that's how we identify ourselves. It is a beautiful thing. But it has become a cost in Sierra Leone and in Africa because we don't put with tribes over your ambition, your self-ambition. The average Sierra Leonean not care much about himself or herself than they care about the political leaders, them or the political party. So that is the problem we'll get in Africa, and that is the problem we'll get in Sierra Leone. Because people then put the interest of the politicians and political parties over their own self-interest. You go see man, they come up for go dance. But we go outside there. If you go look in condition outside and they live, I mean, it's heart-rending, it's pathetic, it's sad. Whilst these same politicians, when they go dance for so, they don't go to the host where they get air conditioner and they get generator them. But they're the people, they are suffering. So these are the things I'm saying to you guys. And this is why civic education is important. Let us talk to our brothers and sisters them. For understand, say, it's not about your tribe, it's not about your political party, it's about your self-interest. It's about you. You get for look for yourself. Just because person come to you, say me na Timini, Mende, or so, no means saying I'm for make you for support them. You get for ask critical questions. What's important to you? You know, for a lot of my brothers and sisters, you know, in the diaspora, for some of you guys that have traveled a little bit outside of not only Sierra Leone in America, right? Because I try not to compare America to Sierra Leone, except if I really have to, because America's democracy is over 230 something years old. But I want to go back to countries like Dubai, go back to countries like South Korea. Go see these countries, they will all be basket case, the Vietnams and all of these countries. Waiting change, the mindsets not change. Sierra Leone, the mindset not change yet. You know what you do? Because of education. And when I say education, not your passport, you reach the college level, therefore. A lot of them, and to them, when I can see where they come out and street and protest. A lot of Sierra Leoneans, a lot of them, when you look at the protesting population of Sierra Leone, at the eastern part of the country, and then most people they come out for protest. The western part of the country, where I would say get a lot more, you know, educated people, formal education, right? We go school, we go far past school, you know, at least reach the high school. You know, see, say they're not involved so as much, which would have been a good thing because again, it's part of the civic education. But we all know say now when you go to Africa, when you say protest, a lot of times people associate protest with rudeness. But we see even at this part of the world where you look at France, what is happening in France. You see them people in the burn motorcar, burn this, burn that, destroy stuff and all of that. They can afford to burn all those stuff because they have enough of that. But that is not what protest really is, right? It's not about the violence. A protest is a way of coming out and speaking up about what you feel to the money you without being rude or without being violent. And at the same time, the government should not hinder on the rights of the people for killing them because of them protest. But education is the biggest problem we'll get in Africa. And the problem is this. The leaders that they do this deliberately because they know an educated population is definitely, they don't get people and for become mongums, like how do they use people and so they like it today. Like I Sierra Leone as an example. If we change the next generations of young men and young women, them, we empower them so much by education and let them focus for go school and learn. I'm telling you, it's going to be different. You go see political rally, then they full up. You go see when politicians, they call people for go rally, come now, local rally, and this and that. They don't get much crowd anymore. Because people understand, say, me man, listen, after 4 years, we don't suffer, all this suffer. Then now when election come, And they tell that the kind of can tell we this and that, blah blah blah, for saying that this you could do, this you could that. We for 5 years, we don't see do nothing for improve our lives. We still struggle, the poverty still the permeate with society and everything. Because people, even they go to their rally then they go there for go dance and go jubilate. Because what you do, the educational level has been improved. They don't understand what's in the constitution. They don't understand the responsibilities of government. When they go to the rally then now more or less now for go challenge politicians them on the issues. They don't go to them for let you go talk to them, tell them whatever you want to tell them. But in Sierra Leone like today, the politicians they go to see them, wait till happen soon at the elections. And go rally, tell the people we do so for 5 years, we do so, we make this road, we build this school, we build this hospital, we did it. Instead it would be town halls where people they go for go challenge the politicians. They are say that's so you say, that's so you say, that's so you say. This time your situation. What should I do for we? You look at what they happen with the educational system. Some people they don't even able for put them picking and go school because the money for buy the uniform, buy the books and this and that is still expensive. College education like today, a lot of dropouts are there. What to do, even though the SLPP government is touting say free quality education, but for go college now, it don't become so expensive as opposed to the days of the APC where it was subsidized. Parents they pay 70% of the education, the tuition fee, while parents pay 30%. So that man really sell cool water self able for putting picking go school. But civic education and backed up with a formal education, now it don't kill with the like today. I can't say again, not all man go college, not all man go university. There's skill sets too. People get for land jobs them like carpenter, masonry. But you don't mean say enough for go far school. Man can still go college, he graduate, he come out, he still become a carpenter, he become a mason, he become a mechanic of some sort, right? Fixing cars. It's engineering. But people look down on those jobs in our society like today. But that is not what I want to talk about. I just want to focus on civic education and how we as a people get for wash up our mindsets to stop thinking about our tribe. We get for left for think about tribes, think about political party. We get for put your interest forward. 62 years of independence, travel go Singapore. I can say this. If today I get an opportunity for put, hundreds of Sierra Leoneans in a plane or ship or whatever it is, bring them come, not even in America, carry them go like Dubai or carry them go to Singapore. I guarantee you, if we do that for every Sierra Leonean, we do in sets, say of 1,000 Sierra Leoneans, they can spend 1 month to 2 months at this part of the world. I guarantee you Sierra Leoneans them, when they go back, Sierra Leone democracy and Sierra Leone politics they change. The mindset will change. Because what we lack is mindset. Basically, we have leaders, we don't see the good side to life, but they don't want to implement them. And for some of you guys that have been following me over the years, I tell you guys, say, I'm going to contest the presidency in 2028 or 2033. Some people say, Ibrahim, why not now? I say, why now? Why not now? What am I rushing for? I have no reason to rush. Let give them guys enough time for continue for make big fool of themselves. Nah? Let continue for give the political class. Let them feel say they get sense past everybody. That is why I'm building a base. You and I, you're watching this now. Some of you guys can get for cut this when I put on a WhatsApp. Some of you guys they record this as an audio and share on a WhatsApp. But whatever the case is, the message is going out there. We are building a group. We are building a network. We are building Sierra Leoneans and we get the same mindset. Me believe so we forget electricity 24 hours. I believe so we forget clean drinking water running through our homes. I believe so we forget good road network system. Because all of this aligned together, Sierra Leone is going to go places. We get a very great tourism, area. And by the way, there is a lady called Esther Cole. She has a channel where she talks about tourism, and it's very appealing to me because I know Sierra Leone has a lot of tourism sites that we can make millions of dollars out of. I know that for sure. So you can check out her channel on Facebook, Esther Cole. Go follow her. She talks a little bit about tourism. It's very nice. I like that. And so I know we have a lot of potential when it comes to making money through tourism alone. So these are the things we want to point out to you guys to understand that no matter what happens, at the end of the day, we deserve so much better. And I've seen these possibilities. And this is why I say, with all of my experience and my exposure, not only living in America, travel outside of America as well, go other countries that way, they are living testaments to what it's like when the mindsets of the people change, that these countries could advance. Why we brothers and sisters them for they go suffer now Oman, you know, and Qatar, you know, Kuwait and all of these places. Then they go use them as sex slaves. Some of our sisters them, they suffer there. We brothers them, then they beat them. When I don't see all them videos that day, you know, some of them are lucky, they're able to survive the system, but it's too much harassment and disgrace and, you know, insubordination, the way they treat them, not fair. We know so we system brother and deserve them. Why therefore go be, you know, nanny them, housemaid them in other parts of the world? Why, where we get all the potentials that we have? That is what I've seen, and that is why I say I'm going to contest the presidency in 2028 or 2033. So you, when you watch this, you have a responsibility to say, okay, what can I do for Ibrahim? You know, help, right? What can I do when that time comes for that campaign? I'm not going to hold anybody right now to anything, but I want you to develop that mindset. I want you to start thinking about that. I want you to start reflecting on that. Say, when Ibrahim calls me in 2028 or 2033, when that time comes, when Ibrahim is going to come to contest for the presidency in Sierra Leone, I go put my political party over the interests of the country. I go say, okay, well, na APC are born, na they me papa, na they me mama, or na SLPP are born, na they me papa and mama, na they me grandpa, they all on day. So I'm not going to support any other political party. Are you going to support the People's Liberation Academy? Are you going to put your tribe aside and put your region aside? Are you going to put that aside and say, Ibrahim, we're going to go with you? We all have the same mindset. We don't have for suffer. We don't have for see hardship. We don't have for see Bella woman and they go born in hospital and they die there because we don't get proper care. You know, we don't have for see we nurse and not get paid. The nurses are trying to leave the country so then go find better living. You don't have for leave now joining. All time when they you know, na the fet for what I get for wash before in company, for team up in a line for wait for use bathroom. You don't tire of all of that nonsense. We have what it takes as a nation. Sierra Leone is a very rich country. That is the vision, and I've seen that, and I know. When you take with marine resources, these are the things we talk about myself, communicator and Cashbox. When you take with marine resources, what we'll get that with water alone, it brings in millions of dollars every year, if not billions, every year, where it's enough to take care of our societies. I don't believe in that people living in Crew Bay. I don't believe in people for living in a slump. So tell me, say, I live in a fantasy world. But I believe that Sierra Leoneans deserve a lot more than they're getting so right now. And these two political parties in Sierra Leone, maybe some of them have that vision, but they've not get us there. They're not get to it. 62 years after independence, some of the things we still cry about, we're not for the cry for again. Look at Ghana, they're leaving us. Most of these other African countries, they're leaving us behind. But we depend on propaganda no more. So I'm asking you guys this, when the time comes, because for me it's about civic participation, civic education. It's not about your political party, it's not about your tribe, right? It's about, you know, putting your interest above everything else. That is what really matters. I want you to start think with your mind, think with your brains, think for yourself. It's not about your political party. Let me tell you this. I was born in APC. I give you this small story for you guys that don't know. We grandpa them, me papa them, they're all in APC. In 1967, my grandpa was very instrumental for the survival of APC. If anybody sabi about the Albert Magai era of SLPP, what did they do to APC people them? My grandpa na came with 13 Land Rovers them at the time. We can give APC. APC no say they not win the election when my grandpa line up their Land Rovers then they across the streets of Freetown. When they pass with them. My grandpa, same before now. My own daddy was a member of parliament as well. So my lineage na APC. But am I happy with Usai with 62 years later? No, I'm not. So when I talk about my affiliations, we all na APC. We all get political party that we were born out of. But should we continue down that road just because of our political party? That is why I say again, it's the People's Liberation Academy. That's what we particular for name. People's Liberation Academy. It's about liberating the minds of our people and giving the people what they deserve. Because civic education is key. Civic education is why Africans and Salon people are not vex. Because the people don't know any better. Salon man, the average Salon man don't know any better. The average Salon man feels say, you know, if a politician they pass, they are like, hey. They feel say politicians are God. The average Sierra Leonean feels say politicians they are God. They don't know say these politicians there, then they for serve them, take care of their needs. If you not eat, politician not for eat. If you not wear fine clothes, politician not for wear fine clothes. Because that the responsibility that they wanna give them say, therefore take care of them. If you not wear fine half back na your foot, politician not for wear fine half back. If you don't even for buy tickets for come overseas, politician not for buy tickets for come overseas either. That's the mentality. If you're not able to come America, politicians not able to fly for come America. If we get this mentality, I'm telling you, Sierra Leone will be a better place. What we forget for do, that for make sure say we run people out of parliament. For example, when you take, you know, a lot of these brothers and sisters when they go inside parliament today, why did they go to parliament? It's the question. Man, they run for going to parliament because of the money. They didn't run for going to parliament because they care about the people. Oh. They didn't run for going to parliament because they want to perform their oversight responsibilities. Oh. Not to that they go to parliament for. Then they go to parliament because they know say, parliament you get wardrobe allowance. They know say you get housing allowance. The average parliamentarian in the last parliament, the 5th parliament, how much of you know how much they get for housing allowance? How much of you know? Parliament they get 20, each parliamentarian they get $20,000. $20,000 for housing allowance every year. So that parliament, a member of parliament, within a parliament for 5 years, now $100,000 Dandy. Not to the salary. Oh. Members of parliament they get close to 40 million leones a month in salaries. Just salary. Then they get medical benefits of $5,000. Then be asked for increase to $15,000. We don't know if they be increaser. $15,000 a year for medical allowance. How much Sierra Leonean able get today in teeth they at? Able for go see dentist. There are people that have been born in Sierra Leone from the day they're born till they don't reach 60, 70, 80. They've never been to an eye doctor. They never go see a dentist. But members of parliament are living the good life. So why you feel say people are the first for go parliament? Why you feel say when you look at the current APC, then they fet themselves, you get team A. And you say all the members of parliament, when they go to parliament at team A, then they get team A. That's for the money. It's not about serving the people. Oh. It's not about standing up. Oh. How many members of parliament will I ever see go work in a Panama Road prison? For go check, for go see them young man there where they go home, they go lock and say, wait, he be thief goat. They lock and 30 years in jail. A thief pepper, they go jail for 50 years. Who don't know for the whole lot of big thief man there? Now salon you go see the hell more thief. You don't even know side the person go thief. Wait till you thief. You don't come on your tick, your neff for go and bug the person now. You hear say thief. But when they left from the politicians them, where they destroy the destiny of them thief man in the, then they pass free. When they celebrate them back. Whilst when they kill on herself, when they chap on herself because they raise a thief. We don't go thief you at all. My family within my house, where I left my house now Freetown, along the peninsula. They tell me the other they say the thief you don't pass mark now. They say even if you left you light bulb na veranda they can't thief on net. They say even the meter they can't thief them. We don't say no new. The thief that they go on for so long. Even now you get Christmas where they can't thief. People are the thief, but you know they share at that level for can't thief light bulb, right? But thief man is still there. But in Sierra Leone, them petty thieves, then they small thief man in the. A lot of them brother in the and then sister in the took on this day an option and not get. The average salon man are people with a shame. You feel safe then get opportunity for go work and make a living for themselves, then they go thief light bulb. You don't see delicate today a drug epidemic in the country all over. Drugs. Also, I see one video where a guy they knock head in a pole. I saw the butt head at the pole, Drugs don't take over. Because man they look for a way for forget about them problems. But I say to you, if you're part of them people and they will listen this, stop the drugs. Focus. You can make a better living for yourselves. But this is the country we'll get. We get with members of parliament, the man, all man want to go to parliament because of the money. It's not about serving the people. How many members of parliament I don't see will get a platform like this? Why I get so? How much member of parliament get platform like this? Where at least if you make hypocrites say you want to go to parliament, you go to come and form a platform where you educate people and get people involved. How many members of parliament you sabi? Where they can sit down and for talk about this? Where they can talk now, say last show on the constitution today. How many members of parliament? These are the things you guys should ask yourselves. So on a Saturday morning like this, these are the things I think about. And I say, you know what, it burns me inside for sit down and not put this out there. How many members of parliament? People don't want to go inside governance because you know what I stress and I emphasize on parliament? I want to understand the role of parliament, how important in our society. Because governments, presidents them, they can want to do what they want to do. Judiciary, they can want to do what they want to do. Now we could get 3 arms of government. The parliament, now the referee. The parliament, they check the president, they check the judiciary. How many members of parliament, they check the judiciary today? Very good. So you say, what case they are court? Oh, you don't have to talk about the case anymore. So these are the things I want to share with you guys. Civic education is very crucial, it's very important. And these are the things I want you guys to know, and these are the things I want you guys to understand. And until every one of you guys understand these basic fundamentals, we're not going to move as a society. We're not going to go anywhere. We're not going to move forward as a nation. So I ask you guys this question. Are you prepared for, ensure, say, you guys join me in 2028, 2033? We're going to go change that country for make sure say we elevate the lives of the people. We elevate the living standards of the people. We change the narrative. We change the mindset of Sierra Leoneans. Try for 50 elections that we are. They go try for attack we because they know so we come with a message of hope, a message to say you deserve better. That is my watchword right there. You deserve better than what you get to right now. Sierra Leoneans don't deserve for suffer. The thief now for left. We for left the too much thief. The thief too much. All the money already the budget where they go to the ministries there, you know they reach the people them. You know they take care of the needs of the people them. People don't get pipe on water running through their homes. You know, people don't get electricity. You know, the other say like, don't come. Why? My first priority becoming president in Sierra Leone for ensure say we get 24 electricity in that country today. Because with electricity, everything else is going to survive. You go for car with manufacturing plants them. You go forget, you go for manufacture. You go for make things. Because why would we forget people and for go open up factories in that country today? Because we don't get electricity. And we don't get electricity, the cost of running generators is very high and it's expensive. So then they make it a trickle down to where everything is going to be expensive. Because if I don't pay so much money for, I buy diesel for the generator, I have to pass the cost to the customer. I have to pass the cost to one of the people. So that is why it's so difficult for survive and do business in Sierra Leone because of electricity. Not to do for the talk, yap, boku nonsense about. It's about getting to work and making sure so we provide them for we people. If you get for take for use nuclear energy for get that electricity, I will come to this part of the world and come beg and ask for get nuclear power system for go take care of that country there. Then we people get access to 24-hour electricity, untouchable. We tired for all the light don't come. We fed up with gains. It's too much. So these are the things I want to talk to you guys about. Again, I don't need to be on social media, but social media is the fourth industrial revolution. We have to take advantage of it because this is the easiest way we can reach to our people. If I call AYV or 98.1 and say, when I give me airtime, they might not give it to me. But I have my own platform, I can use them, and I can't use them so effectively for reach out and talk to you guys, and that is what I'm doing. So that is why the fourth industrial revolution is what's going to change Africa, and it is helping Africa. It get the negative side, it get the good side. But the fact that I can sit up now in a small corner, even for come and talk to you and impart knowledge into some of my brothers and sisters and share these ideas that I have with them, it is a blessing, all because of social media. So let's capitalize on that, guys. Let's use it effectively. But I wanted to talk to you guys about civic education and civic participation. Get involved in your politics. You know, I can see some comments on my page. Some can say, Ibrahim, well, now you talk, but also you talk about politics. Now we want help you, so we're glad for that. I said to you as a brother and as a sister, again, it's because of lack of civic education. I make you to talk now with you. Politics shapes everything we do. The fact that I even have to come out here and try for can talk to people and say I want to create opportunities for help and guide, like the nurses them, for let them come and apply, so that they go for come America, for come work now. What to make we for able for with effect for poor brother and sister in Sierra Leone? Again, because of bad politics. You feel say the nurse in Sierra Leone, the average nurse in Sierra Leone, when months done, if not, let's say if not 20 million yourself. Let's say if not 20 million yourself, every nurse they get paid when months done. If you say you go left for come America, you go left for Europe, they will not leave it to come overseas. But when they pay you 2 million, even the 2 million for pay yourself not go able when they deserve so much more better. You see, these are the things. So everything we do is shaped by politics. We're all political animals. So even if I say I don't talk about politics, and I mean say it's not about politics, everything is political. You guys have to understand this. All the demise of the face of delicate today because of bad politicians. You don't get access to healthcare, now bad politics. You don't get good roads around you, now bad politics. Go to some village now upline today, if you were like within the 1920s, I swear to God, then people still pass with bus trusses. I mean, come on, man. In 21st century, what the hell is wrong with us? What the hell? You should be mad. Africans, we for vex. We for vex. We for vex. The average Sierra Leonean African, you for vex. Because you deserve a lot more. You deserve so much more. Not for to celebrate these politicians. Not for to celebrate none of them. No, they don't deserve to be celebrated. You should be asking tough questions. That is your civic responsibility. And that is why I come out here and talk to you guys. To my brothers and sisters in them village and small towns. Why you feel say everybody want to come on a village now for Kansai Big Tongue? I tell you, the first thing I will also do is to decentralize Sierra Leone. If I contest the 2028 presidential elections or the 2033, I have a long time to go. I'm a young man. Which I didn't rush for. I didn't rush for nothing. If with your support, you guys will all come together and I say, okay, we support Ibrahim, let's go change that country. I want for decentralize. Because you know why people in the kind of the big cities, all my one kind of free tongue? All my one kind of free tongue. So free tongue is so congested and choked. Why am I going to take the same development with that free tongue, can I go to the outline? Why shouldn't I do that? If you know that you village, you get electricity. For example, the area where they so, I don't call them village, but it's in the suburbs, right? Away from the big city. I get all to there. Everything I have. What's that they run for what a free tongue for? You get internet access. You get electricity. You get clean drinking water. When you seek hospital near you. You pick it a school day. All thing. What you run for what a big city for? That is the problem we have in Sierra Leone. Because we never take the developments to the people in the city, in the villages there. So all my brother, they all one kind of free town. That is why I say again, civic education is important. Who's going to ask these tough questions? Now, only the people get for asking politicians them. Let we decentralize. Let we go back into the small cities them. Let go to the villages them. Let go to the towns them. Let go improve the lives of the people. These are the things we should be focused on. Civic education is crucial. It's important. And that is why I say again, I'm going to contest the presidency in 2028 or 2033. We are building something here. You're with me. You've joined us now. I don't believe for rushing to anything. Everything you do, take your time. Build your case. That is what I'm doing. I'm building my case. We are building that case. So when we reach now free tongue, we don't need for campaign boku. Let me go for over the next few months. I got to try to get a logo. So everybody sabi the logo. So when that they come, we want to go contest. So go and is the elect say na proportional system, whatever electionary system you want for use, PR system, constituency based elections, we get a place. Because we don't build a network of young people, of UNA. We all don't come together say, enough of these political parties deceiving us. Nothing to show. All the years of our lives, it's the same thing. Civic education is important. And that is why I talk to you guys. It is important. Those are my priorities. What is your priority? You push your political party over your interest? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to put your political party over your self-interest? You think about your generations here unborn? But guys, I think I've said enough for today. Let not long too much. I hope say not reach 1 hour. So at the cut on here, at the left on here, and then mix this message with anything else. Civic education is important. Africans, Salon people, we for vex, we for demand more. When I see this election, we done so. Now civic education cause the kind of effect we'll see on people. The fact that people paid attention, the fact that people then come out, not because of political party or because of personal. Now the people, their senses don't aware, they don't wake up, they don't realize say we have to be involved in our politics. But I say to Salon people, I can always challenge them at WhatsApp. I say the same energy where you show so for this election. Now the same energy you for show every day in your governance systems. But what do you take? Now good leaders them. Because you take it, the people will act, but they're going to lead us them for lead them. And that is why when we come to the picture in 2028 by God in power, or 2033, to God in this day, we're going to have a leader. We're going for the in front of everything for we people them. Nobody not going for scare we. We're going to stand by this constitution. This constitution right here. Get a copy of her. Get a copy of her. It is a beautiful book. It is a beautiful book to read, man. It is a beautiful book to read. There's so much in this book. I love this book. You know, again, go get a copy of them, download them, print them, get a copy, put on a binder. Put on a binder. You need a Sierra Leone, go to a printing press, when I go to the printing office, if you're in Sierra Leone, go get a copy of the Constitution. Get a copy of the Constitution. You're in the diaspora, print them out, one and just read them. It opens up your eyes. It makes like you understand exactly what's our responsibility. Thank you, Ryan. I'm coming right now. You know, that is what we're talking about. But I'm going to leave it right here, guys. I think I don't say enough. I'll continue these conversations as we go. All right. And then maybe over the next few days, I will touch on that military aspect again for continuous stop. Yeah. The opportunities in the military. But for now, I'll leave it right here, guys. Take care of yourselves. I will check the comments there later. But civic education is key. Participate actively in your politics. Not allow, because if you don't do politics, politics they do you. Remember that, okay? If you don't do politics, politics they do you. So get involved, challenge your leaders, challenge your politicians. Don't continue to ask tough questions, and we'll get there. 2028 or 2033, I'm going to contest the presidency, and we'll leave it at that. Bye-bye.